Welcome back to the deep dive. Today, we're digging into something pretty transformative. It's this combination of drones and GIS, geographic information systems, and how it's, well, completely reshaping how we see and interact with our world. Some really eye-opening stuff here.
Yeah, and this deep dive, it's built from a stack of really interesting sources. We've got excerpts from the GeoWing Academy website, transcripts from their YouTube videos too. Our mission basically is to unpack how this drone tech, which is pretty readily available now, right? And this powerful open source software, how they're being used together to, well, digitize our environment and then convert that raw data into genuinely useful insights, which leads to, better decision making across really a ton of different fields. It's all about getting that knowledge quickly but thoroughly, giving you those aha moments. Okay, so let's unpack this. There's a lot here, from how the data gets collected to some pretty surprising things about machine learning applications.
Yeah, absolutely. So the core idea, what GeoWing Academy really emphasizes, it's training people on how to, and I'm quoting here, digitize the world around you and then convert that digital data into useful, understandable information. What that boils down to for you listening is getting rapid geospatial information faster and more accurately than ever before, which enables, genuinely enhanced decision-making.
That promise, rapid, accurate information, I mean, that sounds like a real game changer. But okay, what specific tools, what technologies are actually making this happen?
Well, it really comes down to two key pillars, I'd say. First, you've got these fantastic state-of-the-art open source software platforms. And the aha here isn't just that they're often free, though that's huge. It's that they completely democratize access. Suddenly, you have access to very complex code scripts written by very smart people for doing incredibly powerful data analysis, stuff that used to need massive budgets.
Right, so it levels the playing field.
Exactly. Small organizations, even individuals, can do it now. And the second pillar is off-the-shelf consumer drone technology. We're not talking military-grade stuff. These are inexpensive, readily available robots used as aerial scanners, and they are fundamentally changing how we study the world. They say forever, and honestly, it feels that way.
It's amazing how accessible it's all becoming. So does that mean the real bottleneck isn't the tech itself? Is it more about the training? Learning how to combine these affordable, powerful tools effectively?
That's a really good point.
And if so, who's this training actually for? Is it just tech experts or?
Yes, the training is absolutely key. And GeoWing Academy, they've designed it for a surprisingly broad audience. It's for complete beginners, sure, but also for seasoned geographic information software users, GIS pros. But they also list conservationists, construction contractors, engineers, farmers, geospatial enthusiasts, even drone pilots already flying. Basically anyone who wants to use these tools to collect and analyze data in their own field.
And the feedback seems to back that up, right? How accessible it is. I saw Lucy Tarrant mention loving that the drone data is provided with each course, and crucially, that I did not need a drone to get started is fantastic. That's a big hurdle removed.
It really is.
And Siavan Cardosa said, the projects are fun and provide real-world examples. That practical side matters.
Definitely. That low barrier to entry is huge.
Okay, so given this wide range of people, how do they actually get started? How do you go from, curious beginner to actually using this stuff? What's the learning path look like?
Right. So they have what they call Keystone Courses. And the whole idea is to take students from novice to experts. It covers UAV operations, photogrammetry, and GIS software. The beginner course starts with the basics. Drone history, use cases, how to get set up, setting up your drone, the RGB camera, that's just your standard color camera, basically.
Like on a phone?
Pretty much, yeah. Then automating flight plans, understanding the nuances of collecting good data. Then there's the photogrammetry practical. This is cool. You use a supplied data set, an open drone map, which is free software, to stitch drone photos together. You end up with these incredibly detailed, accurate 3D maps and models.
Wow.
And finally, the GIS Software Basics Practical gets you into QGIS, powerful open source GIS using the data you just processed. Then, building on that foundation, the intermediate course goes into enhanced QGIS techniques. This is where you start really digging deeper, using things like raster calculators.
Raster calculators.
Yeah, they let you do complex math on the map data itself, and creating health indices for vegetation, for example. You also learn the processing toolbox for more in-depth analysis, finding patterns you wouldn't just see by looking.
Okay, getting more advanced.
Right. And then the advanced course, that's about mastering automating the workflows, taking everything you learned and streamlining it, making it super efficient.
So these core courses build the skills. But I'm guessing the real wow factor, the impact, comes from applying it in specific situations.
Absolutely, that's spot on. Beyond the core skills, they have specialized training through these fun projects. They teach deeper processing skills, encourage creative thinking. Like for disaster management, you learn practical flood analysis and quantification. Imagine how useful that is for first responders.
Crucial.
Or for dam sites, you can accurately estimate potential dam site floodplains, wall lengths, positions, and volumes, vital for planning, for safety.
Right.
And in industry, mine volume measurement, accurately measuring mine cut and full volumes. And here's a really clever bit. They teach techniques to digitally remove machinery.
Remove machinery.
Digitally.
Yeah, from the 3D model.
Yeah.
So you get precise stockpile measurements without shutting down the site.
Wow, that's huge. Think of the savings. No interruptions.
Exactly. Continuous, accurate inventory.
Yeah.
So these courses, they really cater to specific needs, whether it's conservation, agriculture, or industry. Shows how versatile it is. Okay, that practical side is incredible.
Yeah.
So what does this mean for actually doing the work on the ground? Sounds like faster, more accurate ground truth data capture. And then, the exciting part, integrating things like machine learning.
Precisely. They've developed these highly customizable apps for ground truthing, and they consolidate seamlessly with the drone data. So picture this. A field observer out there with a GPS device, right? Their location shows up live on the high-res drone map on their tablet or phone.
Okay.
They walk up to, say, a patch of specific vegetation they need to check. They tap the screen, drop a feature point right there, input some basic info, and boom, a data capture tab opens with pre-configured fields. It's super quick.
Super quick.
Yeah, and the data can be uploaded seamlessly into the cloud from the fields, real-time updates. And what's really fascinating, you can capture images right there in the field. Maybe you have some actual alien vegetation, and that image gets overlaid, consolidated with your drone map. You can even draw on the images, add notes, automate timestamps.
That's very integrated.
It is. And you get visual cues, like a red dot will come up indicating alien vegetation, while if it is native vegetation, will come up in green. It just dramatically speeds up analysis and improves accuracy, especially for things like combating alien invasive plants. That's usually so time-consuming.
What a fantastic example. Okay, and then you add machine learning, AI. On top of that, that's where the insights really multiply, isn't it?
Oh, it absolutely is, yeah. There's this really interesting case study they shared using machine learning with just standard RGB drone data, the color photos for plant health. Specifically, they looked at a strawberry patch.
Strawberries, okay.
Yeah. And the machine learning algorithm, GeoWing's algorithm, it detects individual strawberry plants and then assigns different color demarcation that is relevant to the plant's health. So red obviously being in very poor health and dark green being in very good health. It uses something called the MPRI Index, Modified Photosynthetic Plant Health Index.
MPRI.
Think of it like a super sensitive health tracker for plants. It analyzes how light reflects off the leaves, gives you an early warning for stress way before you'd see it with your eyes.
That's powerful.
It is. But here's the critical thing, something easy to overlook with RGB drones: the weather when you fly. They did direct comparisons. Cloudy days versus sunny days.
Okay. Does it make a difference?
Huge difference. On sunny days, the shadows. The algorithm often confuses shadow with green, healthy vegetation.
Oh, right.
So you get missing detections, and you see a lot of green turning up in the shadow in that MPRI index map, which, leads to confusion. It skews the results.
So shadows mess up the AI reading the plant health.
Exactly. Now, if we connect this to the bigger picture, the key takeaway is simple. Fly on cloudy days, you get more consistency out of our data, more uniform light across everything.
All right, no harsh shadows.
Precisely, which means the index values are far more consistent. You get a much better rounded vegetation health value, much more reliable. Sunny days, the light values are just too scattered. ML accuracy drops, the data gets skewed because of these very high variations in the plant health index.
So for reliable AI health analysis with a standard drone camera, fly when it's overcast. That's a crucial insight.
It really is, and it highlights a limitation, right? Our RGB drones are valuable, definitely. But they also mentioned that multispectral drones, those give even better health maps because their specific light bands do not confuse green with shadow, gives you even more precision.
What an incredible journey today. We've gone from understanding how, accessible drone tech and open source GIS are digitizing the world,
Yeah.
all the way to their impact in conservation, agriculture, industry. Those aha moments, seeing how the data flows from collection to analysis to actual decisions, really eye-opening.
It definitely is. And, this raises an important question, something for you, the listener, to think about. What other tasks, what other complex or maybe just time-consuming monitoring tasks could be totally revolutionized by combining this accessible drone tech with advanced open source analysis and machine learning?
That is a great question to ponder. Look up next time you see a drone. Thank you so much for joining us on this deep dive. Keep exploring, keep learning, and we'll catch you next time.